Yeah, yeah. I met him in the university, and we just clocked. I realized he was a deep seeker, and shared some of my experiences with him. And then we just started to practice, and I started to show him how to get fit, really, because he had explored substances in his past. So it was a way of helping to detox that by exercising, and meditation, and various practices. But
Yeah.
he was very determined, very willing to
Mhm.
do that, and that's the reason we are where we are now.
Yeah. And you said that he was a seeker, a deep seeker. They say it takes one to know one. Do you feel that you yourself, Brother Kelly, were a seeker back then, or have you always been a seeker yourself?
Yeah, I've always been a seeker. Yeah, I reckon we get it from our parents. Yeah, it's the seeking quality because my parents were surely seekers. So I reckon I just got it in my inheritance. But also, I'm also of mixed origin. My father's Mediterranean, North African. My mother's English.
Okay.
So having that in the genetics in a Catholic Mediterranean country where my father was one of the only black people there. So when they were like speaking against his color, whatever, he'd be able to hear them, just say to them, speak to them in their own language, and just show them, be aware of not everybody that you reckon doesn't speak Maltese now speak Maltese.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I got to learn from an early age that people got that kind of conditioning, but that's what made me a seeker, and that's why I see the seeker in one's father. But to the grace of learning how to enter into meditation, I was able to experience what is known as self-realization, when you realize yourself through meditation, and then you got to learn about the chakras, integrated that with the power of various religion, be it Islam, be it Christianity, getting the qualities from all the faiths, from all the masters.
Hmm.
And that's what meditation is. That's what Sahaja Yoga, that is the foundation of what I've been doing all these years, have guided me to be able to integrate, is the quality of not only all the masters, but also the masters of the Hindus,
Hmm.
the Indians. So
Right.
you got good people, good masters that were prophets of Allah, of God, that were Hindu, that were Indian. You know what I mean? So there's all types of prophets that have showed their love to humanity, and a lot of them are not really spoken of too much. Be it Guru Nanak, or be it Raja Janaka. Yeah. So there's many prophets. They're not really talked about too much, but they've made a big impact really in the human society.
Okay.
So learning Sahaja Yoga, which means self-realization, to cool vibrations, I've been able to identify the characteristics of these prophets and integrate them with one's practices, and that also goes naturally with female prophets, like Her Holiness herself, her being a prophet of the self-realization. So I'm also into conscious dreaming, even though I do like to smoke my ganja or whatever, and I like to drink vibrated wine. I do also like to practice conscious dreaming. I write down my dreams, and I say to people to do that around me, so they've got a memory of what they're experiencing in their sleep. I mean, but it's like it's good to get the good dreams and just remember them, make good use of them. I mean, in Islam they say it's not really good to say your bad dreams, just say your good ones. So on one level, it's like sometimes I have bad dreams, but I'm better off just keeping my mouth quiet about them, just wait for the good ones to come through. You know what I'm saying? Or try
Gotcha.
and make the good ones come true. But
Yeah.
with respect to
Indeed.
drinking the golden water, I've been blessed by that because, believe it or not, I was put into an institute when I was a little boy,
An
and
institute.
pardon,
An institute?
yeah, an institute with nuns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How
And
young were you? How young?
I was 6.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Okay.
didn't want to go. And I didn't want to go. yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I felt in me I didn't want to go because I felt that one's parents when they needed to be more responsible with themselves.
Mm.
Even at a young age, I noticed that. I noticed that they wasn't really being responsible with themselves. That's the way I thought about it. Yeah. But I want to share that because in relation to the golden water, you had to drink. So sorry, you had to do a wee wee for the doctors. Yeah,
Mm.
for them to check that if your blood's all right
Mm-hmm.
before you get accepted into the institute. They wanted to check if your blood's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked me and my brothers to pee in a different thermostat. So they said to us, they give us a glass to go to the toilet and to wee wee.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't able to wee. I didn't want to get it out. So my father had to take me for a drive and then return me and then get me a drink for me to wee, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my moment now where I was going to wee, right? So, and I went to the bathroom to put it into the cup, to put it into the thermostat for the doctors, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, this is what I'm going to share with you is like something that I remembered through practicing drinking the golden water. That's the reason I mention it now. That I actually drank a little bit
Mm-hmm.
as a child,
Wow.
as a way of saying, as a way of, in a way, it was a way of saying I wanted to keep a part of me that I knew that was for me that I didn't want to give to the doctors.
Wow. And this was just intuitive, like you just intuitively did this.
Exactly. I intuitively just had a little, drank a little bit, and I just thought there's some more here for them now. Now I'll give them this much.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I totally forgot about it. And through practicing drinking one's golden water now all these years and been drinking through the nose, I was having a conversation with a Spanish lady that I was having a relationship with in a few years ago. And I was talking to her, and that's when I remembered that I'd done it with her when I was talking to her about my past.
Mm.
I remembered that I actually drank my own water through the mouth
Mm-hmm.
before giving them the rest of the water for them to see if I was worthy of going to the institute or not. Oh, by the way, I was worthy, yeah.
Okay.
they liked the water, yeah.
So that was the introduction. So this was before, way before even, the birth of like Kelly Ra Saliba, because I want to learn like what does Ra Saliba mean? What is the meaning of your name?
Oh well, Kelly's my first name. Ra is because I'm a sunshine devotee. Before I even started practicing yoga, I was already practicing sun worshipping and spending weeks and months devoted to the sun during the good weather in England. So I used to go to the park on the bike, and I used to, from about 7, 8 in the morning, and stay there till about 6 in the evening, just all by myself, just looking at the sun all day.
Just
Till I
looking
find,
at the sun.
yeah, you look at the sun. You start slowly. You
Mm-hmm.
start with light bulbs first.
Mm.
So you look at the light bulb and you start squinting your eyes. And as you squint your eyes, you notice rays come out of the light bulb. You can do it right now. You notice if you look at a light bulb, you go like that. You squint your eyes. You squint like that with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The rays start to come out.
Right.
That's how you begin. You begin with little things. So you begin with a light bulb, and then when you're at a train station, you bring with train station lights. And you start bringing. Then you suddenly, bam, you clock to it in the morning while the sun's rising, and you start squinting your eyes with the sun. And that's it. And I was doing that like for years. I was doing that. And basically, that's what got me into lucid dreaming. Yeah, that's
How
how.
how is the how are they connected? So when you started sun gazing, how did that correlate with lucid dreaming?
That's a very good question. What's your name again? Sorry, I forgot.
Jerome.
Jerome, yeah, Jerome, beautiful name, Jerome. Yeah, the way it connects is that the sunlight is naturally it's an intelligent power of the creator, and once you realize it is that, and you don't like treat it like it's some alien around you. The sun is an intelligent force. So when you can address it that way, that's when the sun knows what your intent is and what you want to do with what it's giving you.
Mhm.
So naturally, as I'm in the park absorbing the sunlight, women there, people there. I'm minding my own business. People can see I'm completely focused on what I'm doing. I'm completely detached from everybody else around me. Now, what the sun gives you its rays. It gives you its energy. It gives you its life force. So the sun is a life force. So it gives you its life force when you're giving it 100% attention. Through me doing that, I was able to channel that energy into my sleep. And through channeling it into the sleep, I had enough energy in me from the sun to go into lucid dreaming. Because if you do any research in lucid dreaming, to become a lucid dreamer, to be able to come out of your body and watch your body asleep while you're actually out of it, you need a lot of energy to do that. You need a lot of power. And also you need complete no distractions from outside people forces. You don't need your mum coming in to you in your bedroom and saying to you, I've got breakfast for you, darling. You don't need any of that. You need to be in complete solitude with what you're doing. So your force, your power, your creator knows you're completely devoted in your direction and what you want to achieve. And then if you do have the blissful experience of seeing your body asleep, the majority of people, if you read into any books, they tell you they usually return to their body. The reason they return to their body because they're so surprised they're seeing themselves asleep, they get scared and they just want to return.
Right.
But I was already ready for it, Jerome. So when I see myself asleep, I said to myself asleep, I'll see you in half an hour.
Nice.
And I, to put it blatantly, I fucked off.
Okay.
Yeah, I went out my body. I went out my room. I went out of Islington, and I went to another country, and I got to see a relation of mine, and then I traveled into the universe with all that, and then I returned to my body.
Wow.
And when I returned to my body, when I opened my eyes, I was able to see the aura of everything around me. Everything had aura around it, even down to my fucking Rizla, to my trainers, my socks. Everything had an aura around it. Everything had life force around it. Yeah, that was my experience, my first full-blown experience of lucid dreaming integrated with sun worshipping together.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
So
that was my
this was a
first.
full-blown awakening. Yeah.
Exactly. It was a full-blown awakening that I wanted to share with people, but whenever I shared it, they were like, it's too deep. In them days, people that were around me tell me, Kel, that's too deep, man. I don't want to go, let's smoke a spliff. I don't want to go into all that. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of that from people around me. So I felt isolated around it because I didn't have nobody to really talk to about it.
Got it. Got you.
So I
Okay.
just basically, sometimes I was getting the lucid dreaming experience. And to tell you the truth, when I returned to my body, I said to the creator, look, I don't want this anymore now. I'm not ready for this. I want to smoke a spliff. I want to chill out. So I needed space from it because I felt I wasn't really ready to keep on getting it anymore. Yeah. I was living with my mum. Yeah. So I was able to see her too, see her aura, see her past, see her misery. And that was emotionally, upsetting me in some ways because say you see the pain your mother's gone through, but you can't talk to her about it because she's making breakfast or she's going to go and get shopping or it's just not the right moment to just stay at home. I said, I have lucid dream, mum, and I can see your aura now, right? Yeah, I was able to do that. So I was even down to my own brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to talk to them by neither. Like I'm even down to you. I'm talking to you now, but to my own blood brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been able to talk to like this about what I'm saying to you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the value of communication isn't always present, even with your own relations.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. I've never met you before. I'm telling you stuff that, it's like top secret. Even though, look what's it to you about the golden water, about having it as a child, before entering the institute.
I
You know,
see. I
yeah.
see.
So
So
there's
thank you
all
for
these things. But yeah,
just
go on. Yeah.
yeah, thank you for sharing this with us, Brother Kelly, because these are things that are very awakening for people and very just, you know, exceptional for people to hear this knowledge that we didn't learn in college. This was not what they taught me. This wasn't the conscious curriculum. But if it wasn't for you and Sam, Brother Sam, if it wasn't for both of you living in your truth, doing what you're doing and being in service to the all, I would
Yeah.
not have found, you know, this path as well. So
Yes.
I started this path because I saw a video with you and Sam, and it was talking about these yogis drinking through the nose, you know,
Yeah.
in London, you know, and so I just saw the video, and that's when I started to begin my journey. When I saw you and I saw interviews with other people on the
Well,
journey as well. So when you're
have you?
talking about like the solar power, the solar energy of the solar rays,
Yeah.
and how it connected with lucid dreaming, how it gave you power to
Exactly.
enact your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your vision. What were your goals, dreams, and ambitions at that time that you wanted to use that energy for? Like, what did the sun allow you to use that energy for besides lucid dreaming?
It's a very That's a very good question you've said, because what happened to me following that, I went to Italy, and because I was a model,
Hmm.
and I went there to do some modeling, and but I wasn't doing it with the agency. I was doing it directly with the designer. The designer invited me to go to be their private model,
Okay.
but I didn't have anywhere to stay. So basically, the designer said she knows a guy who can let me stay at his place.
Hmm.
So I stayed at his place, and that's where he was gay. I've got nothing against gay people, but he had his gay friends there and stuff, and they all went out to a party. They invited me to go, and I said to them, I just want to chill out, yeah, because I've got to go to work tomorrow, right? My modeling job, right? So I stayed there, but I did have a little bit of vodka with them, and I smoked a little spliff with them before they went out, and but I heard voices, yeah, like attacking me,
Mm.
yeah. But now I realize it was the ego, because now I do yoga. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I didn't know about the ego.
Mm.
I knew about my own way of doing things, of the astral dreaming, but I didn't know there was an ego. I didn't know what ego was then.
Okay.
So when my ego was kind of attacking me, instead of me being humble, like I'd be more like humble now. Yeah. Like
Mm.
I was attacking it back,
Mm.
and it accumulated in my head as I'm
Mm.
laying down on their sofa. It accumulated, and all these, in Islam they call them jinn, spirits. Yeah,
Right.
all these spirits. The more I said to them, "Go away, I hate you," the more I said, "Bring it on." They they kept accumulating, and they accumulated to the point that I just surrendered to them, because there was just like mash. There was coming at me from all angles.
Hmm.
So I ended up experiencing like I was dead basically. They
Wow.
killed me. Like
Wow.
in myself, I was gone from myself
Okay.
in the instant. And I went, and I realized my faith, and I mentioned Malcolm X and other different people that I have got faith in, and I
Mm.
returned a little bit to myself. And then I went into a tomb, and in this tomb I was surrounded by these Egyptian pharaohs,
Mm.
and I heard a voice saying to me, "This is why you have to be quiet, because they're asleep." And I noticed the pharaohs were like standing erect with their eyes closed. So I just thought, okay. And I found a way to start to move, to return into my soul, into my body.
Hmm.
And then the same spirits returned again. The same evil spirits that took me down there started to merge at me again, trying to stop me to return to my body. But
Mm.
then I showed them, I've just seen the pharaohs, yeah? They've shown me my respect, yeah? It goes to them like, then I said, then I found my faith in Malcolm X, I found my faith in good spirits,
Hmm.
and they retreated. And as I see them retreat, I see these souls in pain and misery. And I felt a little compassion for their anxiety, that they had to put me down and curse me. And I said to them again, I could see the faith, and I returned to my body.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What did that experience teach you? Like, what did it leave you with?
What I done straight away, I protected my name. I put specific in Kelly Saliba. Like I put in every letter, I put a protection in every letter.
Wow.
My name when I got up straight away,
Hmm.
and I drew a picture of myself laying down on the bed, and how I felt and what position I was in that moment. But like, it taught me the lesson that I didn't know about the ego, how you can kill yourself by attacking yourself, not
Wow.
understanding that these voices are really part of who we are, be it pain, happiness, all them spirits were really part of our own souls. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, they call it, like even the Egyptian call it in the Egyptian books of the dead, it's a place where all the bad souls, they accumulate together. It's like God puts them there. They accumulate together to teach individuals a lesson of how to be humble around the dead souls,
Mm.
around dead spirits, how to be humble around them and not to try and fight them, because you're never going to win, because they're in their millions, they're in their billions, these spirits. So
Okay.
it's just best to surrender to yourself and just let it be. And if
Okay.
you do answer to them with something they they like and they don't like, which is faith,
Okay.
love.
Okay.
Like to mention in Malcolm X, when I said Malcolm X, I noticed the X and the faith of what type of character he was made them retreat.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
noticed, wow. I said to myself, Malcolm X has got some power. So I was like,
Yeah.
Malcolm X again. And they retreated again.
Yeah.
And I also mentioned Bob Marley to them, and they did retreat with Bob Marley too. So I thought, oh, Malcolm, yeah. So I was clocking that when I was addressing my faith in specific people that inspired me and shared their love to me, they kind of reacted well, okay, we retreat to that character, we
Mm.
retreat to that character. And that's what gave me the faith to kind of return to my body with the faith that there are bad spirits. But
Mm.
if you have faith in specific individuals, that you notice they do kind of retreat to that. So
Right. Right.
I see that there is a dark world, but even in the darkness, they'll listen if there's someone that they feel is powerful enough for them to wanna. All right, we
That's
heard
deep.
you there. We heard you. Yeah. So that was my test for me to see, to be cool around these types of spirits, and to have individuals around you that you have faith around, be it Muhammad,
Nice.
be it Jesus, be it individuals that you have faith
Yeah.
in what they've achieved and what they've done, and they're part of who you are. They're part of who you are.
Exactly. And I love this because, it sounds like you passed the test. You went through the test, you got over the hurdle, you overcame the adversity and the obstacles. I mean, I have, Malcolm X
You're
on
right.
my vision board right now. He's one of the people that I keep on my wall out of
Yes.
all these people right here. Of course, this guy right here, you know. So I
Yes, of
got,
course.
Frederick Douglass up here, Malcolm
Oh,
X,
wonderful.
and Nuri
Wonderful.
Muhammad is one of the people as well. But yeah,
Wonderful.
just different people on the wall. But when you were talking about Malcolm X, that's
Yes.
what reminded me, of just when I read his autobiography, it changed my life. It shifted my whole world around when I read that biography.
Yeah,
So
I've read that too, that one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely was life changing just to see how books were his alma mater, even in prison, when he was imprisoned, how books just, gave so much life to him at that moment and just gave so much knowledge and wisdom and how he was able to learn so many lessons and have so much progression within prison,
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
the bars, behind bars. So
Yeah, he memorized the dictionary, remember that, isn't it?
exactly, exactly. The whole dictionary,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. Yeah. Totally, totally. That's the reason thanks for affirming to me the reason the spirits retreated,
Mm,
with a spirit like him, yeah, that I mentioned to them.
for
They
sure.
they retreated on his spirit.
Very powerful force, And
Yeah.
speaking of powerful forces, if we could just touch back on the sun for 1 second, why do you feel, Brother Kelly, like, why do you feel the sun is so feared in society when so many people, are very adamant about, well, put on sunscreen because you want to protect yourself from the sun, put on sunglasses to protect your eyes from the sun. You even
Yeah.
see people walking around with umbrellas because they don't want those rays hitting them. So
Yeah, yeah,
with a person, such as yourself who was bathing in the sun and even gazing at the sun, why
yeah.
do you feel like the sun is so feared in society? Where did that come from?
It comes from ignorance
Hmm.
because if you say ignorance slowly, it sounds like ignore. Yeah, so you ignore. Yeah, so they choose to ignorance. Yeah, so they ignore the truth in themselves.
Hmm.
The thing is, a friend of mine, yeah, she's French, but she's our complexion. She's like Caribbean French, yeah.
Hmm.
And she said to me, Kelly, I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how you watch the sun because I watched the sun once, because I know you do it. And she said, I couldn't see for a few hours. I couldn't see for a few hours. I goes to her, what happened? What did you do? She goes, I was just looking at the sun, and then I just, for a moment, I lost my concentration and I went like that.
Hmm.
Well, so no, you're not supposed to do that because the sun is an intelligent being, and if it picks up your, I didn't know about ego when I was doing it, so I'm kind of fortunate that I wasn't I was using my ego when I was younger,
Yeah.
but in a current moment, because women are more emotional, yeah, the
Hmm.
sun's like a masculine power, yeah, so
Hmm.
her looking, she had to keep in that humbleness. The more she looked, but as she looked more, she went, oh, and that brings the ego up. The sound went bam. No, I'm
Right.
not. Unlock your vision for a couple of hours now,
Okay.
and that's what happened to her.
Okay.
It's happened to other in the years that I've been around. It's happened to other people around me too, because
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. The sun can scold you if it identifies that you are not really who you're acting to be while you're looking at the sun.
Okay.
it's
So
an
being
intelligent, it's an intelligent being, yeah.
right. So
So
being humble, having humility with the sun, coming to the sun with reverence,
that's the
revering.
one, yeah. Here's
Yeah.
the one. Don't get me wrong. Through the years, I have told the sun off. I've got a temper, yeah.
Mm,
But the sun tells me, Kel, I know when you haven't.
mm.
So the sun always, humbles me. Like it reminds me. Remember, Kel, when you didn't know about yoga, when you used to, you know what I mean. So it knows that I'm only angry because of what I've learned in the society that I'm living in now.
Hmm.
That's something that's pissed me off because naturally the sun's a super intelligent being in that way. But what I
Okay.
wanted to share, I wanted what's your awareness about the arts of tantra and sexuality? I want to see what your awareness is around that. Have you
Yeah.
have you, have you studied it at all?
Yeah. I've studied, a little bit of Mantak Chia, a little bit Mantak Chia, a little bit of,
What is
the
what
secret,
is mantak?
The Tao of lovemaking,
Oh,
talking about just maintaining the seed, retaining, the semen, just semen retention as they call it today, where you're just holding on to that force, which is a creative force. Of course, it can create, a whole nother human being. So when
mm,
you're maintaining and sustaining, you can be gaining that energy, and just
yes.
having that practice with a conscious partner of mine. She was willing to help me practice with her for a while. And so I felt that I gained not total mastery, but I gained some mastery in the area of retaining the seed through the act, through intercourse, through lovemaking, to be able to, allow us to get to a higher place instead of just kind of allowing that release, which is, pretty quick. Usually the biggest complaint that they have is the duration and the length, so that extended a lot of that, but also the ego came in with that as well. So I had to deal with my own ego, learning that I could last a lot longer and that the energy could be a lot stronger. I had to calm myself down and bring myself back into humility with the sexual,
Okay.
the sexual sovereignty. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Are you aware at all of the chakras? Are you aware of Sahaja Yoga?
No, but Sam was telling me about it last week. Can you talk more about it?
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be cool if you can check in your city if there are meetings there
Okay.
of Sahaja Yoga, and go to one, and then you ask them for information of how to process the self-realization.
Okay.
In England, just say a friend have said in England they usually give you that for free.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know in America they like to charge you for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
but
Yeah.
usually you get the information for free. Yeah, so basically, if you go to one of the meetings, experience what is known as self-realization, get to know the affirmations and about the chakras. Some people have the experience of their vision improving
Hmm.
after the realization. Yeah, and when you with your type of knowledge and awareness already, I reckon that will be a benefit for you,
Okay.
because as we're talking now, I was saying to myself, what's really missing in our conversation, and I thought what's missing is
What happened? Uh-oh, something came up maybe?
yeah. Sam
Okay,
says it's okay,
there we
but
go.
yeah. So I just thought if you get to the awareness of Sahaja Yoga, you get to know about your chakras on a more subtle level, and there's also communication in relation to that to the chakras.
Hmm.
So once you can process that awareness, what I've said to you today will be a lot more apparent, yeah, for the progress of these types of conversations.
Yeah.
And yeah, and naturally, say if I speak to you in the future and you say to me, oh, Kelly, yeah, man, I went there, I experienced this, I experienced that, that would be good.
Okay.
That would
Okay.
be good. Yeah.
Because you know, for the modern person listening, just for the average listener or viewer here who doesn't really understand what it means to be committed to a yogic path, you know, to a Sahaja yogic path.
That's what I do. I go, because the way you just said it, you reminded me of the history of anxiety living in the type of world where you're doing yoga, where you're supposed to be maybe in nice mountain somewhere. You're not in the city of London, man. You've got fucking coke, crack, fucking heroin, acid, mushrooms, what types of shit going on around you. Alcohol, you can get drunk for fucking free. You can go to a pub, give me a bottle of whiskey. Of course we will, because get the money. So, as I'm saying, we live in this society here. To do yoga, it's not easy. On top of that, you're being monitored because you say, oh, he's doing yoga. She isn't.
Mm,
He isn't. He isn't. What's so special about him? Let's
mhm.
monitor him, see what his game is, and all that. So I'm living around that too in this type of world, yeah, where they watch people that do yoga, yeah, because because they naturally they want to see the benefits of it. One of the I mentioned this to you, yeah, from a book called Kundalini, yeah. There's these beings called Rishis. Have you heard of them?
No.
Well, it's how you pronounce it. He pronounced it in a different way now, but it's the same kind of thing for me. Yeah, but yeah, they're in this book called Kundalini. Yeah, they're called the Rishis of Yore. Yeah, some people call it, how do you say it? Rishis. He's saying it Rishis. I'm
Okay.
saying it Rishis. How I see it, like Rishis, how it's spelled.
Hmm.
Rishis. But what made me mention them is because they were the type of beings that expressed the yoga and the meditations of what they done using sound and vibrations of sound. Yeah. So once you do experience the realization of the meditation, you get to be aware of these mantras. Yeah, they're like prayers coming from the communication of nature.
Mm,
So when you recite them with the awareness of the translation of what they are, the frequency and the joy and the fragrance
mm,
of them become self-evident. You smell it around you and you go, what's that lovely smell? Yeah, it's that quality, because the original doctrine of the Rishis, of the Rishis, yeah, Rishis, yeah, yeah,
mm,
are of that quality. They studied the vibration of nature and wrote and invented Sanskrit
mhm.
communication. So the yoga that I'm aware of, known as Sahaja Yoga, written in Sanskrit, means it's born with you. Just like a nurturing quality that is born within us, that becomes awakened spontaneously.
Mhm.
And when she does, that's when all the flowers, the chakras are like flowers. and as she pierces through them, they open up and share their fragrance
Okay.
of who you are,
Right.
yourself, with all the
Okay.
qualities and all that. But it's down to meditation. You,
Okay.
yeah, you get into the frequency of meditation, and in that frequency, once you're aware through getting the doctrine, the information of what they are, or what the seven chakras are, and how to enhance their qualities, be it communication on number 5, or joy on number 4,
Okay.
or
Okay.
forgiveness on number 6. So
Got it.
you got 7 of them. I'm surprised you really are not saying to me, "Oh, Kelly, I'm aware of that."
No, no, I mean I'm learning from you. This is why I wanted to have this conversation because when you're talking about the spectrum of vibration, with all these different things on the spectrum, love, kindness and joy and different things like, authenticity and just all these chakras and these energy centers. When you're talking about, the Sahaja Yoga path, what are the
Yeah,
sacrifices for someone on this path, like someone like yourself? It doesn't seem to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you
yeah,
talked about earlier, Kelly, that you used to be in the modeling industry, you used to have
yeah,
a, regular job or a career
yeah,
in the modeling industry, but
yeah.
today it doesn't seem like you have a traditional 9 to 5. Are you like working at a traditional job, or has it been a
No,
long
no.
time since that happened?
It's been a long time since that happened. Yeah,
Okay.
Charger.
he's
So
gonna charge the phone now.
Yeah.
okay.
He's gonna
So
charge the
so
phone.
what are
Yeah.
some sacrifices that someone has to make? Are those one of the sacrifices? Like working a regular job, is that one of the sacrifices?
I'm gonna give you an insight now. Hear me carefully. What I'm gonna say. Okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. The insight that I'm gonna give you. Try not to repeat words too much, because you mentioned sacrifice a few times. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And sacrifice is a word because I'm a person who watches words,
Okay.
and I'm aware of key words and words that are best to be avoided.
Okay, I see. I
So
see.
this is where I'm sharing the insight with you. When
Hmm.
you rewind the interview,
Hmm.
yeah, you're gonna say, Kelly's right. I said sacrifice to him 4 times in the space of 7-8 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So watch this. This is the insight I'm gonna share with you.
Hmm.
Sacrifice, importance, and personal. Watch out for them 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Because each of them identify too much with the individual and not with the whole collective spectrum of communication. What I'm saying is all the prophets in English translation, like the Quran, you can't translate it into English because it's straight out of divinity. Like you can't put into words into English every type of communication because English hasn't got all the answers to all the words of every culture.
Hmm.
Yeah. So some words in Arabic they can't put into English because they ain't got the word for it. Yeah. That's just the reason I'm saying to you, when you said to me sacrifice, yeah, this is the insight I'm affirming now. Another word for sacrifice you can say is bridge.
Hmm.
There we are. That's
Hmm.
taking a lot. That's to take a lot of spirits off you now, because
Okay.
God knows, Jerome, how many people in this world, even up to this very moment, are being sacrificed.
Hmm.
And God knows how many animals in this world are being sacrificed now.
Yeah.
So when you saying it as a man, yeah, check it. Because one beautiful book is called Salt Deficiency by a guy called Martin Lara. And he mentions in his book, there's more pollution in the mouth of one person, yeah, than all the world put together.
Wow.
And that's because that's what I thought. I thought like, did you just say why or wow?
I said, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I realized it when I watched the news. I put on the news right after the thought of what he said,
Mm.
and I watched a news reporter, a woman, saying what was going on in the world, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I thought to myself, "Rah!" I thought, I see what he's saying now, because the stuff that was coming out of her mouth about what's going on in the world, I realized he's right. There's more pollution in the mouth of one person than all the world put together. Because when you have a reporter telling you what's going on in the world, what kind of pollution's in her mouth as she's telling you?
I see what you mean. I see what
Anyway, I see that. The news she was coming out with. That's what I'm saying. So, oh yeah, yeah, thanks.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
So
so, yeah,
when we're talking about, the solution for all the pollution, you know,
yeah. We're drinking through the nose. Yeah, is
yeah, can you tell us
yeah,
about
yeah,
the drinking through the nose journey? Because,
yeah.
the other week Samuel was talking to us and he graciously mentioned that you had actually gone 90 days,
Sorry.
3 months only through the nose. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, yeah, that was because yeah, thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Because one went to Spain, and I was in the meditation that they used to call it right-sided. I was quite on the right side. I need to be more in the center. So when I went to Spain, I see a lot of pictures of food. Yeah, they were promoting food, with using pictures. So I made the decision not to have anything to the mouth, just to have everything to the nose. So I was buying yogurts there, and I was just basically having everything to the nose. And I carried on doing it when I returned to England
Mm,
for a couple of more months. But the idea entered me. I'm going to share about the idea how it entered for me to do it.
mm,
I was cleaning my nose in the bathroom, and a little bit went into my nose, and that's where I was inspired to start to try and bring water in.
mm.
And I kept on practicing it on my own for a couple of months, and then I shared it with Sam. Then he started to do it. Then I shared it with somebody else. They started to do it, and it's how it kept on moving on from there. But then it went into my brother said to me, "Have you ever tried like mineral water? So to drinking your own water, try mineral water." So I started to drink mineral water, and then that changed me. As soon as I started to drink mineral water, I got a lot more invigorated by it. I
Mm.
don't know if you've tried mineral water yourself.
The only water I've done is my own water.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
only.
Well, if you try doing mineral water, yeah. If you try doing that, if you do it, you're gonna say, "Wow."
Okay.
It's going to make you a lot more happier than you imagine
Okay.
when you do it. I'm serious in that way. It's going to make you it's going to make you very happy.
Okay.
I'd say do it as soon as we finish talking today.
Because when I was reading the book, the drinking elixir through the nose with you and Sam, it was talking about how the brain gets the first taste. When you're drinking, inhaling through the nose and it comes down, that the brain gets the first taste, like it's giving the brain the information that it needs in that moment. Can you speak about like what's actually happening when you drink it through the nasal passageways versus just doing it orally through the mouth?
Yeah, thanks. The nasal is like going into the pineal gland, and it cools the neurons in the brain. It nourishes the hypothalamus in the brain. Um, it opens to a whole, it's like going into the kingdom of God, because in the meditation this part of the head opens up to this one. This is number 6, this is number 7. So drinking through the nose opens this center here. One thing about it, you have to have a peaceful state of mind, really. Because otherwise it will not open up the gate. You have to do it through forgiving yourself, forgiving other people. That's why I've mentioned going through the process of meditation, so you can experience it a lot better. So once you drink, once you're drinking through this channel here, what opens up, once this center is opened up even more, the top center, the number 7 one, once this one's opened up, this one here, through the meditation, then it's easier to feel the quality of drinking through the nose, because the center is already opened.
Okay.
And when that happens, when you are absorbing it, you notice the eyes actually dilate when you do it, just like you do in meditation. The same thing happens when you drink through your nose. Sometimes tears come out your eyes when you drink through your nose, because your eyes are experiencing a new experience of taking a liquid into your consciousness. But yeah, so there are multiple benefits from it, and because it does cool the neurons. And the neurons in the brain by this time of the evening in London, which is about 6 or 7, they start to overheat in our brain about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. The neurons in the brain, they start to overheat. All the brain cells around our head start to overheat. So when you're drinking the golden water, or you're drinking mineral water through there, it helps to cool that. It helps to cool them. And through cooling them, they don't have to die. So through preserving the neurons from being overheated, they don't have to recreate themselves.
Okay.
Because the neurons can recreate themselves in their millions, these cells within us, in their millions. So through keeping them cool, you're saving millions of neurons.
Right.
Right. Then the ones that want to regenerate, they'll just regenerate on the ones that you've already preserved.
Okay.
And that's how that keeps fluctuating. When you drink it through the nose properly, when you're in that process of like drinking through the nose, the golden water, the middle path preferably, especially for a person who's just beginning, it's good to have the middle path of the elixir. Some people say, oh, Kelly, so my urine looks all right, I can have it all. But with all respects to the deeper teachings, traditional teachings, it's best to let go of the first part, keep the middle, let go of the last part. They call it the rattlesnake technique.
I see.
Because
Only keep the middle. Only
just
keep
like
the middle.
just like the rattlesnake, you've got the poison in the front, you've got the tail at the end. So when you let go the poison in the front, keep the middle, let go the tail.
Okay.
But what happens is, after drinking your water for a few years, yeah, what happens is the person says, it's okay. Look how gorgeous it looks. Look, it looks beautiful. Why should I let go of that piece or the last piece? Let me have it all. And I'm sure lots of people do that. But that's because you need the discipline, Jerome, really, with all respects. Yeah? Yeah? I've been recently studying my old school books. As they say, it's best to read one good book that is good 100 times than 100 books that are not all that once.
Okay. So what's one of those books that you've read 100 times? You would say what's one of those? Because I know you
Yeah.
mentioned, or Sam mentioned last time, that the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, and also Thus Spake Zarathustra.
Yeah.
Thus Spake. Those were two of them that you referred to Sam. But what were some of the books that you've read like hundreds of times?
Yeah, well, was one book given to me by the people I teach that I've learned Sahaja Yoga from,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a mantra book. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and that one I've written it, and that one I've written it with my left hand, and I've written it with my right hand. I've written it cross. I'm joking, but no, I've written it with my left hand. I've written it with my right hand. The whole book.
Really? You
Yeah,
copied it?
copied it, babe. Well, the whole book.
Okay.
What I heard, yeah. God rest her soul. Guess God rest her soul. The woman that started the yoga, when she heard, yeah, by the yogis that there's a guy, he's copying the book, because I borrowed the book from a person who practices the yoga, and I goes to him, let me borrow it, and I thought, let me copy it, so I don't have to borrow it or from him no more, right? And then through the grapevine, they heard, because I said to him, I'm copying the book because I want it, you know what I mean? They heard, and they passed it to her, to the one that started the yoga, the foundation. And when she heard it, she said to her Sahaja Yogi, she said, give him a book. That's what she said. She said, give him a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was very young then in Sahaja Yoga, yeah? And I was quite raga. So I had my raga street ways. So I said to
Okay.
myself, you know what I mean? I said to myself, well, I'm going to keep on borrowing the book. Let me just copy the book.
Yeah.
I've got the book in my own hand, and that's it. So basically, if there's one book, yeah, that I've run circles around, that's that one. Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah,
you would say that when you read a book like hundreds of times, like you say, it really gets into your bloodstream. Like it really gets into your spirit. Like you really embody the book. Like you eat the book.
sure, of course it does. It doesn't. It goes not just to your bloodstream. It goes deeper than that.
Mm.
It goes deeper than your blood, deeper than the cribs, deeper than the bloods. It goes into the very soul of your essence,
Wow.
where you're formless, where you're nothing, just formless nothing, not even your flesh. It goes to that place, and then
You know,
returns to you here again.
yeah, Bruce Lee talked all the time. You know, I always hear Bruce Lee talked about being formless and being shapeless, you know, like
Yeah,
water.
yeah, exactly, Jerome. The thing is, only recently I've been like having to be humble to the formless power of the Creator, because
Mm.
we're so much in our physical bodies. You know, we like to be in our physical bodies because here we are, we're physical. But we also got to understand that the Creator is physical, but the Creator is also formless. And that's not easy for us as human beings to accept, because we like to be informed. We like to, inform in football, inform you got a car, inform you got a house, inform you got money. So, all, inform you got your prayers. Yeah. So, we all like to be informed. But when you go into like that formless power, you're like, where's my legs?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what happens with lucid dreaming. When I experience lucid dreaming, I see my body asleep. Yeah. It's lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Astral traveling comes later, but in lucid dreaming, he mentioned astral traveling. Astral traveling enters in second and third. Lucid dreaming is actually when you're actually lucid, watching yourself asleep, and you're floating in that level. What happens is, Jerome, through the years, people got their different interpretation, the different words of what they use or what they understand to be what it is in respects to lucid dreaming or astral traveling and stuff like that. But in my opinion, Jerome, lucid dreaming is when you're actually in your room, seeing yourself asleep,
Mm.
accepting yourself asleep,
Mm.
and then making that decision to astral travel. Does
Got
that
it.
make sense? Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
That makes sense.
That's the way I've
Yeah.
been, presenting it to myself and to people that actually ask me. But some people might say, "Oh, but astral traveling is really lucid dreaming." No, I say lucid dreaming first. You become lucid, and then from then, if your spirit can handle being lucid, then you have the blessing, the gift of being an astral traveler.
Got it. Got
And
it.
and the beautiful thing, the real exam, to tell you the truth, before entering astral traveling, is be able to see yourself lucid and accept it, and then naturally having the clear decision ready, 100%, that you want to do something else
Okay.
and that you want to travel. But what I've noticed through my research through the years, a lot of people, and I've read it in different books. So what I've actually thought, I've actually read in books,
Mhm.
where they do travel a little bit in their room, and they reckon that's it.
Mm.
They reckon, oh, I've done it. I'm a lucid dreamer. You are a lucid dreamer, but you're not astral travel lucid dreamer.
Mm.
So people, they have a little experience flying in their room a little bit, and that's it. You know what I mean? And they feel like they're astral travelers now, but they're not. They just have a little lucid experience, and that's it. And they make a big mountain out of a mountain. I won't say out of a molehill, but they make a big mountain out of a mountain. you know, in that way. But
Right.
so
So,
yeah,
so when
astral traveling is the best you can ever experience, because you feel the power of the Creator to the highest level. It's like the Creator's giving you a birthday cake, a
mm.
beautiful birthday cake, and it's for you. It's up to you to do what to do with it. So, with all respects, even bad angels, yeah, like the devil, yeah, because I've done in my studies,
Mhm.
even in the astral traveling, even the devil, yeah, humbles down to you.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that is because the devil's made out of fire. The fallen angels made out of fire, that it's been said, and fire goes upward. So for the angel of fire to see an earthling, yeah, travel out of their body. It reminds the angel of fire that, hey, this one's like me. This one can fly. This one can flow. This one can, yeah. So that's the reason even evil angels have to salute the earthling.
Wow.
Because, yeah. Because they have to respect that he's detached from his ego or her ego, and he's able to see himself asleep and not be all attached to his body. He can fly, he can be free. So even bad spirits respect a person that can be detached from his physical flesh, from
Right.
his fleshly self.
And to
I've
have
noticed that.
that and to have that experience, Brother Kelly, like when you're experiencing the power of the Creator and you're experiencing that profound level of detachment from your physical flesh, you know, from your physical vehicle, and you're
Yeah,
traveling across the universe, when you're traveling across the galaxies,
yeah.
does that then remove the fear that so many people have of the hereafter, of like passing on, of transitioning, of leaving this mortal shell? Like, does that remove the fear of death?
It does remove the fear of death. But one thing I want to integrate into this conversation, which I haven't done in other conversations before, the way I've been doing with you, is I've also got sequences of nature around me. And what I mean by sequences, you could say any number from 100 to even 200 of sequences that I've memorized with respects to the birds and to the insects and to the flowers. I mean, I've got sequences. Say this up to 100 easy. I could just say even out of my mind. You could just say any number. I could tell you a sequence of that I've created through the years of nature around me. So what I've realized from the creator, from the galaxy, from you say Allah or whatever, yeah, in that way, yeah. What I've realized is that what the creator has been wanting me to do now is to be able to synchronize the qualities of what I've experienced and share it with nature. So I've been doing that now by creating lots of sequences with pigeons, with crows, with seagulls, with all nature around me. I've put them into all different sequences in my memory, so that way they don't feel they've been left out in this physical domain. Because a lot of them are mistreated. They're run over in the street. People run them over. So because there's so much mistreatment of nature around me, then the creator's kind of been using me to kind of integrate the qualities of who I am and what I do with them by sharing food with them, showing them how to be in harmony together and understanding their characters and what type of personalities they've got and the way they dominate each other and the way they like to intimidate each other, the way humans do.
Okay. Okay. So, earlier you mentioned, Brother Kelly, and I thank you for this because you broke down how drinking the elixir through the nose cools down the neurons, cools down the neurons. And I've never ventured beyond, the golden water. But when you're going to the territory of I think you called it vibrating wine. You said wine
Yeah,
that's
vibrated
vibrating.
wine.
Like when you got into that territory, how did that start to affect you, and what was the attraction to drinking wine through the nose?
Well, we've done CDs together in respect to the wine through the nose, and we relate that to Jesus because Jesus in the Last Supper was supposed to have said, "The wine is my blood." So identified that using the wine as a way to evolve the experience of having wine through the mouth, having wine through the nose, as a way to elevate from the mouth to the nose, having the blood, which is the wine, instead of having it through my mouth now, I'm having it through the nose, as a way to evolve the expression, the identification that the blood is the wine and the wine is the blood. So I wanted to bring the qualities of that and to show that naturally the mouth has got a lot of toxification within it because of the impurity of people's not knowing or not knowing what they say.
Mm.
If you're not educated how to speak, then you're going to say anything you want to say because nobody's taught you how to speak properly. In England, you've got schools, yeah, where people are taught etiquette,
Mhm.
not only of how to speak, but even how to put their knife and fork together. Yeah, But that's to me, I'm relevant to that knife and foot together and all that. But what I'm saying is, it's like there is an etiquette and there's a way to speak where, and there's also a way to keep your mouth shut. So if you know how to speak, but you don't know how to keep your mouth shut, then sooner or later somebody's gonna tell you to shut the fuck up. This is how it goes. So if you learn how to shut the fuck up yourself, then it'll be easier for you, won't it? Yeah. So that's where through the yoga that I've been practicing, I've learned my boundaries with relations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How to not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the park a few days ago. A woman's dog came up to me, and I gave the woman's dog some bread. She go, "Don't feed my dog. What are you doing feeding my dog?" I said to her, "Listen, if your dog's come up to me and wants some bread, I'm gonna give your dog some bread." But and then I looked at her aura, and I saw this woman wants to argue. I said, "Oh fuck me!" I said, "You know what? Oh, excuse me, dear. Oh, I didn't mean to feed your dog. Sorry about that." You know? And she started being all friendly to me. Oh, she sat down there. She's like, "Oh, I thought you're a nice guy, really." So it
Wow.
shows you a little sweet words. Observe a person. You can see they want to argue. They can see that you can see they want to argue. Suddenly she's all cool with me. And she's all like, "Oh, I'm all right now. I can see this guy. You know, I can see this guy. I can see I want to argue, but you can see that he can see right through me. All right." And dogs, all her dogs sat around me. I'm feeding all her dogs now, and her friends at the back. Don't know what they might have been, lesbians, whatever. But her friend in the back looking at her like, "What are you doing with women now talking to her?" But that's what I'm saying to you. Where sometimes you've got to observe people carefully, and it's the yoga I do shows me that observing people, seeing their aura, seeing their vibe, and seeing what their real intent is. Sometimes people want to cause an argument for fuck all, for nothing at all. You know what I mean? Just simply giving her dog some bread, just having a go at me.
Right.
In the name of what's going on here?
And being able to see auras, sounds like a huge benefit to be able to see the argument coming from a mile away and to be able to guide the interaction just through your level of perception, to see that reflection and to have that connection, you
I
know?
give you this. Thanks for sharing. I give you this beautiful insight. She put her hand up to me like this. Look, she put her hand out. Look,
Mm-hmm.
shake my hand. Yeah, shake my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to her. No, it's okay. I've just been eating some food, darling. Yeah, yeah. That's what I said to her. I said, no, it's okay, because I'm very careful, with my hands too. I've learned a lot of people like to touch people's hands, because then I've got to clean their vibe and my vibe too. So I've learned to be very careful on just shaking anybody's hand that like to be shaking hands with and all that, because that's a good insight for you. Just be careful on people that you meet in here and there, because there's always going to be more cleaning to do. Yeah, and sometimes people just want to connect to people because they want to clear their vibe. I don't mind that. I mean, you know, you know, some people need healing, you know what I mean? So I can see people they want to do that, and I've been very compassionate through the years. But now I've got to learn to just keep boundaries around me from people needing to clear their vibes off around me, because I've got my own things to get on with. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, I'm saying to you. So the more you are aware of how to clear yourself and do these things, the more you notice people naturally. I'm talking about all ages, all from the youngest to the oldest will want to be around to, because they want to help to clear their vibe. But that's where there's ways to protect our aura, and also to protect us from them and them from us. Protect us from them and them from us.
Okay.
So I've learned that in yoga to practice ways to protect them from me and me from them.
Got it. Got it.
That's
So
it.
establishing, those energetic boundaries, Brother Kelly, when you're talking about these spiritual boundaries or energetic boundaries that we can establish, earlier you mentioned like Tantra, Tantric lovemaking and
Yeah,
things of that nature. And have
yeah,
you also, through your spiritual journey, through this yogic path, have you also gone through, durations of celibacy, prolonged periods where you're just not even interacting in that way with the feminine, just in your
exactly.
solace and your solitude with
Sure,
celibacy. Like, how has celibacy
sure.
in your life been in that
Yeah,
way?
yeah. The respects to celibacy, it's like the beauty of learning the art of lovemaking, the woman that I was with then, she was pregnant. So I'm going to address the celibacy in relation to that. That I had to have the attitude of a person who's celibate to learn how to make love without ejaculating while she was pregnant.
Right.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
You had to adopt the attitude of a celibate to learn how to make love without releasing. Okay. Okay. And how did
Reflect on
that
that.
how did
Reflect
that
on that.
dynamic, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I want you to reflect on it a little. I wanted you to reflect on it a little before I said it to you. Because if you visualize, have you got a child yourself?
No, not yet.
Okay, okay. So say if you had the woman that she was pregnant, right? You say to yourself, if she's pregnant, what's the worth me as a man now ejaculating her again? I don't want to give her twins. I just want one child at the moment. So I might as well learn how to control myself while she's pregnant. And also, here's the beauty of it, Jerome. Here's the beauty of it. The child in the womb gets to know that the father doesn't just want to do wham bam, thank you, ma'am, does he?
Okay.
The father actually wants to control himself,
Mm-hmm.
wants to prolong himself,
Mm-hmm.
and also prolong the mother.
Got it. Got it.
Thanks.
Do you feel like this is because it seems to be this is one of the most challenging forms of discipline for the masculine today when it comes to sexual discipline, that I mean it's just, even far beyond.
I
Go
tell you
ahead.
what, Jerome, I've mentioned what I've just said to you to a Caribbean friend of mine, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? And you know what he done? He started to laugh, yeah?
Yeah.
He said to me, what you go on with, man? He said, I just want to bang the girl and do my thing and that's it, bro. What you on about? And I looked at him and I said to myself, I looked at the sky and I said, there you go, bro. That's a grown-up man acting like he's 15.
Mm.
Just like 15, like, oh, I just bang the thing, just do my thing, just what you on about? Just come and that's it, bro. What you on about?
So you were able to see the childish nature. You're saying these are childish things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man that will fucking shoot you, my friend. Won't hesitate to fucking cut the throat.
Hmm.
What you on about?
Got you.
Man's got big machetes in their fucking apartment, man, and guns and all that. You talking about gunmen like that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got gunmen like that.
Mm-hmm.
What you on about? What you on about, man? Look it up. Check it out on the street. You tell them about this type of yoga and stuff. They think, what you on about, man? Get with girl, you fucking leave her, and that's it. What you on about?
Right. Right. So, so in order to not have like, on the totem pole of priorities, your list of importance when you rank these things, some people rank, like you said, they rank lovemaking very high on their list, or they rank releasing very high on their list. But
Very
it
high,
seems
yeah.
like
I mean, he's
for
a high.
yourself,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
low
Yeah, yeah.
compared to the spiritual,
Exactly.
the benefits.
I'll give you a quick insight. A friend of mine who owns a shop, yeah, he used to be quite a womanizer, yeah? Yeah.
Mm.
And I told him about this yoga, yeah, what I'm saying to you. And at first he started to laugh. What you on about, Kel? I'm not into all that. You know what I mean? I just like to make my love and just keep on. Because you know what, Kel? I love to come, man. What you on about? You know what I mean? But I said to him, I keep on having dreams that you need to learn about it anyway. You need to read about it. And this guy's a good reader. The guy can read a book in a day like that. He's a fast reader. So he said to me, you know what, Kel? I've heard enough of you telling me about it. Go and order me the book from the shop next door. So I ordered him the book, yeah? A few weeks later, I see him, yeah? I see the guy, yeah? You know what he said to me? He said to me, Kelly, I love you. He said, my wife hates you. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I got it. I
yeah.
got it. Yeah.
And I realized this guy's learned how to, to do his
He
thing.
learned. He learned his lesson. He learned the lesson.
But he's learned how to, yeah, how
Exactly.
to.
My
But hear
wife.
this, yeah. About a week later, yeah, his wife actually come into the shop, yeah. She looked at me, yeah, and I thought, this woman hates me now, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And she looked at me like, oh, oh. Oh. Like a little girl, like, oh, you've taught him that now? He's got me like this now.
Oh my
But it
God.
was funny. But their relationships seem to have bonded more, yeah?
Hmm.
They seem to be more like a couple, yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, it
Nice.
bonded them more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bonded
So
them more.
they're more together. Their companionship, that bond is
Yeah,
stronger.
yeah, of course it did. Of course it did. The guy's a wise guy. You know, the guy, I said to you, the guy's a fast reader. Yeah, yeah. Also, I said to you, it took me months for me to get around him because he's always like, "Oh, okay, leave me alone." I like to use like we use like that. But goes to him, I keep having dreams that you need to get. You need to at least read. But goes to him, at least read about it,
Mm.
and then then let me know.
Right.
That's when he returned. He said to me, Kel, because also this was a guy. He used to be a security for the Saudi Arabian prince in his
Wow.
day. This guy, yeah, yeah, yeah. He used to be one of the security of Saudi Arabian princes, right? And so he didn't give a fuck about speaking his mind,
Hmm.
Jerome. As soon as I walked into his shop, yeah, he used to walk with no top in his shop, like he owned the fucking street, right? He came up to me. He went to me, Kel, I love you. Because my wife, she hates you. If everybody heard that in the shop. They were like, around there, you know? Well, Kelly, wait, Kelly, I fucking love you. My wife don't, she hates you. Right?
Mm.
And that's it. So that showed me, yeah, everyone get different experiences from these things, from especially with the love making. But because remember, also this guy is 20 years maturer than me in them days.
I see.
Yeah? Because he's a big man. Yeah? He's a big man. And what's this young guy like me give him advice about his sexuality and all that? Yeah? But because I was close to him, and you know, and I always spoke my mind. I wasn't, you know, he spoke his mind, I spoke my mind. I'm that type of person. So, yeah, I said to him, I keep my visions. You need to control yourself sexually. I keep having visions of it. And I said, all right, get me that book that you talk about, and that's it. So that's where it is what it is now. And I'm pleased I've shared that with you because you can see I've had countless experiences that have affirmed to me the qualities and the value of man controlling himself. And I make this crystal clear to you. Reading The Tao of Health, Sex and Longevity by Daniel Reed,
Mm.
he states clearly that women outlive men, yeah, by a factor of 5 to 10 years. Easy. And the reason for that is because men like to masturbate too much.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because you don't have to tell anybody you're going to have a wank. You just put the fucking TV on. Oh, actually, wait a minute. You can put your phone on now. You can
Mm.
do it in your car. You can do it in your car. You just go drive on the corner, put your phone out, with a little thing, do it. Nobody's gonna tell you nobody. Nobody's gonna tell you anybody. Also,
Mm.
nobody's gonna tell you anything. Also, you're expected to do it, aren't you? Because we
Mm.
live in a type of society that doesn't show you any better.
Right.
That's just the reason children, yeah, get violent, yeah? Because a lot of these boys, these youths, they wank, they have a little wank, they feel weaker having let go of their chi,
Mm.
and they get a knife to feel they feel tougher. And then anything, any type of trouble, they go, oh, it keeps going on and on. Because their education about their sexuality and their nutrition is not there.
You're right.
And yeah,
You're
but I'm
right.
telling you, if you're eating McDonald's, yeah, every day, yeah, and eating all types of easy food, also you don't even bless the food. You don't even say, "Oh, thanks, Allah." You don't do that. You just go shop. Here's the money you eat. Here's your money eat. That type of attitude. Of course, any argument, you try anything new, you're gonna bring it out because you've got no receptivity about yourself. Yeah, a lot of these youths, they ain't got no receptivity about themselves. When they eat their McDonald's, when they eat their burgers, they don't go thanks Allah. They don't go thanks God. They just buy the food, eat it, and stuff it in their mouth, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it was. Some of them youths see me, they have to fucking run a mile away from me because I'm saying more blessings. I'm saying more blessings than they ever do in their life, in this life, or the next life.
Wow.
With all these youths around me.
Okay.
The little thing, whatever they're doing around me. And I know all these youths around me, they don't pray to God and say thanks for their food. I know that. And they know I know that. And that's it. They have to learn. They have to learn the hard way. They will learn when they're 40, if they live that long. When they're 50, 60, they will learn. Oh, it's better to give thanks to the food now because next it's got my vibe, it's got their vibe on it, and all that. They will learn that slowly. Yeah, in this, inshallah. Yeah, they will learn that. They will learn to give thanks to their food.
Inshallah.
I've learned that. I've learned to give thanks to the food and give thanks to what you drink. Even the wine. The wine, we say the mantra on the wine, and it helps to sedate the mind, the wine with the mantra. Yeah, so we say mantra. Yeah, we say prayers to help to clear things out. But also, you've got to remember, Jerome, you've got fake Muslims. You've got Muslims that say they're Muslim, but they're not Muslim really. Yeah? So you've got Hindus that say, I'm a Hindu, but they're not really Hindu. You've got Christians that say they're Christian, they're not really Christian. Yeah? So the only way you can tell if a person's true Christian or true Muslim is to the vibration of the way they are with their creator. The way they pray, how clean they are, and all these things you can tell a person that's really good Muslim. But you're not going to tell because the person says to you, I'm a Muslim, they're a Muslim. Because they might, they're fake. So you can never really tell if a person's real, genuine, who they are. Only once you've been around them a little while and you get to know how their presence is and all that. You know what I mean? In that way. Yeah? You can never tell, a person what they're really like. Only once you're around them and you check their vibrations and the qualities of that. That's the reason I mentioned Sahaja Yoga to you, because one of the things you do learn is that you can check people's vibration, people's vibe through the meditation. That will be good because it'll give you a protection,
right,
from individuals' forces around you, and you can protect yourself before you encounter individuals.
Okay.
And you can protect yourself once you've left them.
Got it. So before and after.
Exactly.
Double protection. Awesome.
Protection. Double protection. Yeah. So we learn that in the meditation meetings. That's the reason it's good for you to experience it, because you learn that power of protecting yourself from people and you also protecting them from you. I like the vibe of me protecting them from me, because in the meditation meeting, once you start getting more good at it, you can start working on people, like balancing their chakras. And what I've noticed, whenever I done that, I did enjoy protecting them from me, Jerome. I like the feeling that I'm protecting them from me. Just the way you work with your aura and stuff. There's ways that you actually feel that, I feel good now. I can work on them. I protect them from me. I can do it now. So that's a good feeling. And I want you. I desire you to experience that feeling for yourself. In that way, you say, I see what he means now. Like, yeah, I can protect myself from them, and they also can protect them from me. Got it. Exactly. You can feel, you can sense it, Jerome, isn't it? You can sense the kind of frequency of what I'm sharing.
Yeah, I love it. I love the truth that you speak. Just even just the energy frequency coming from your voice, even the intentionality that you use with your words, and just the specificity. You're very specific about what words you use and what words you don't use. So
Exactly.
I really just appreciate you for just taking the time and making the time to create, this wonderful build, this wonderful talk, and just giving your testimony and illustrating like where you started, your beginning, your origin, and all the way up until today. Like, thank you for walking us down this memory lane and just giving us all the wisdom that you've acquired through the years. I just want to thank you, Brother Kelly. Thank you.
It's been a joy sharing with you. I was able to see your vibe, that you're deep enough to hear what one was saying, what one's been saying today. I noticed in your aura that you're deep enough for me to share that. So that's the reason I'll be able to share it with you. And also I'm aware of the pain and misery America has been going through for all the years, isn't it? So it'd be good for the Americans to get the awareness of the wisdom of a person such as oneself, for them to see a better side of their nature within our communication.
I agree.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I feel that they will, through the communication and through this conversation, they definitely will feel that vibration. Yeah.
Exactly. And they need it, because as we speak now, there are lifers in your country. Yeah. People doing life in prison. Yeah. Yeah. You got people that are sick in hospitals. Yeah. So you got all types of things going on in the world, right? So our conversation is a way to show to the rest of the world that there are people such as me and you that are helping to raise above all these types of sufferings and miseries through proper, decent, philosophical, wise, enlightened communications,
Hmm.
through experience.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can't beat experience, really. I mean, experience is one of the gifts that is good to have. Experiences and writing your experiences.
Right.
See, the reason I was able to speak quite crystal with respect to my death experience in Italy, with and resurrecting from that, is because part of my prayers, Jerome, I actually bring my history into my prayers.
Mm.
I integrate them every day nearly.
Mm.
So the same spirits that killed me, Jerome, in my dreams, I've been returning to them.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And with the prayers that I've got now, with all the power I've got now.
Mm.
So all the spirits now say, Kel, you never had much power before, but now, damn, you bring some serious deep stuff to us. Because before I was only throwing Malcolm X at them. Now I'm throwing I'm throwing all the prophets at them, I'm throwing all types of stuff at them. So they're like, Kel, man, you're mashing us up now. So
Wow.
that's the beauty of it, Jerome, yeah? I'm on that level where I'm able to go to that dark place now that I've experienced in the light that I am in now,
Mm.
and go to all them spirits and say to them, remember me? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm telling you, I've been going there every day. I go to them spirits because I'm helping to clear all that through my own experiences, and
Right.
that's what them spirits wanted, Jerome. That's the reason I survived. That's the reason I returned from that dead zone.
Mm.
So I was able to liberate to my own experiences all them dead souls.
Yeah.
You know,
Some people refer to it as today they like to call it shadow work, working with the shadows, like working in the darkness, but serving
exactly.
serving the light, but operating, with those in the dark. So, wow,
Yeah.
that's powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, totally what you just said. And what I've realized it also helps the vision because naturally when I experienced that experience of death, I wasn't aware of the tantra of lovemaking and where I am now. So with all respects, Jerome, a lot of spirits that have been evil in history, it's always been related to sexuality somewhere along the line.
Mm.
There was been some kind of sexual deprivation going on, maybe lack of awareness of, say, tantra, of love making with longevity. It brings down a lot of self esteem.
Yeah.
A lot of guys discover the arts of love making, Jerome, in their 40s,
Mm.
Jerome, and usually then men's testicles have already deflated between their legs, Jerome. Usually, the men in their 40s, Jerome, their testicles would have, deflated because of your work, your job, your house, your wife, your this.
Mm.
It says to you in the book. It says to you in the book, Jerome. Usually, the guys are 40. They go to their doctor, and the doctor says, you're not the man you used to be. You know what I'm saying? What happens, Jerome? They usually go to a striptease bar, Jerome, and get a babe to dance and put her ass on their testicles so they can get aroused because they're not getting it any other way.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly I've years ago I actually worked in one of those environments, and what you say is true. I used to see guys coming in from all walks of life because I was here. I don't know how they have it in the UK,
England,
but I know here they have bathroom attendants, like restroom attendants. So
they
they have
do
people.
some if they're expensive. They do here, yeah.
Right. So
If
I
they're
was working
expensive,
at one of those nightclubs as a bathroom attendant, and I would see gentlemen coming in and out at the gentlemen's club. And
yeah.
there were guys with wedding rings, there were guys coming from the job, and there were
Oh,
guys coming from construction, coming with their scrubs on from the doctor's place. There were so many people coming into that space
yeah.
because, through
It,
that lack of intimacy or
it's
even just
sad.
that lack of connection with themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, it's the lack of connection with themselves. So they feel if they go to get entertained, that can arouse the inspiration of when they go to see their wife. that they've seen something to give them a little boost, yeah, a little uplift, yeah, to have sex with their wife, because
Wow.
they haven't been educated to look within themselves when they're with her.
Mm.
And she hasn't, by the way, Jerome, she hasn't been educated neither. So it's not even worth going to the wife, Jerome, and say to her, look, babe, do you know how to, show your husband how to make love? Because I'm too busy cooking, darling. What are you on about? I mean, I'm too busy cooking. I'm really busy looking at my children. I'm too busy. They're always going to say they're too busy doing something else, but not giving time for them to learn about each other and how to prolong themselves and how to have better sexual relationships together.
Everyone's too busy.
Either too busy or maybe not that interested. Do you remember, Jerome? Because you like what do you call it, banana and a banana sandwich. It doesn't mean your wife likes banana sandwich, does it? I just said it.
Great analogy.
I do like a banana sandwich myself, but it's not everybody's to everybody's taste. All right.
Right.
Yeah. So because I'm saying, so it tells you in the good books. It tells you, some women are up for it, some women are not, and there's that side to it too. Yeah. So you have to see a woman who's got an open mind about herself and likes to look after herself, looks after her body. If you read the books properly, Jerome, women actually in the olden days practiced secretly what men are actually doing, but they used to keep it to themselves, the women, Jerome.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So the women used to actually do what we do, Jerome, but keep it on the low.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
and for a few hundred years, yeah, women ruled men in China. They ruled them. They ruled them by practicing prolonging their orgasm, yeah, and also integrating that with prolonging their blood. They were able, yeah, through exercising, to slow down their period. So instead of having period every 2 weeks, they could prolong it for a month. But if you mention that to a Western woman, she'll say, "Oh, with all respects, I've had it done to me. I love my period." you know, so we got to get from a Western woman. I love when my period comes. I need to come. It's like if it doesn't come, it's like, oh yeah. So they haven't understood that the qualities of spirituality. If a woman can channel her period, her blood, prolong it from always ejaculating, then she can have better longevity. And if you look through history of China, some of the most beautiful women that they've got in that country practice these arts. And
Okay.
the people used to say to the women, at this age, you're 70 years of age, how come you're looking so beautiful? She's like, oh, I eat these grapes. Oh, I eat these things. But really, she's practicing these techniques undercover with her other fellow friends. And also, in the olden days, they didn't want the common folk, Jerome, to know about it.
Right.
They wanted only be for the royalty of China, Jerome,
Behind
because
closed doors. Yeah, yeah. This
yeah,
is,
because they felt that the people would overthrow them
of
with
course.
this knowledge.
Too much power. Yeah.
Too much power to the human body of being able to regenerate itself and prolong itself. But one other beautiful thing I will share with you with the lovemaking, I don't know if you've experienced this, is that when you do it properly, Jerome, hear this carefully what I'm going to say, the woman can't get enough of you.
It can get dangerous. It can get dangerous. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course it can get dangerous
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they have a woman all over you every second.
Yeah, I've
Of
seen it.
course.
I've seen it.
She
Yeah,
should be pulling you like, where you going? Come here, I want
yeah.
more of that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So there is that side of it where a woman can sense a man knows how to do it. And so some women, they're like, listen, I want some more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, so there is that side of it where the quality of it, of the lovemaking, where you notice yourself when you can maintain it, Jerome. I'm talking about with not ejaculating at all,
Mhm.
letting the woman have her orgasm, Jerome, without you having it.
Of course.
Yeah. So if you could prolong that and then just like retreat from her and get on with your day for 1 week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you notice the effects of that you're going to have to female species.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things that attracted me to it, because I enjoyed the feeling of still being vigorous and vibrant and, vital, still having vitality afterwards, not just immediately going and falling asleep and rolling over and, a few hours of the day are gone. Now, being able to do that, I can still go and have a run. I can still go and exercise. I can still go and create and make videos. I can still go. It feels like I haven't lost anything. We've gained, we've
Excellent.
sustained. Exactly.
Perfect. Perfect. If you integrate that with the awareness of Sahaja Yoga,
Mm.
you'll be flying, Jerome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because that will help you to clear the sensation of like keeping the semen in. It helps you to liberate it into the cosmos.
Okay.
Instead of feeling like, oh, I've maintained, I've got to keep on keeping it. It helps you to liberate it from that and to just get on with your chores, get on with things like it's keep on flowing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All
That's what you
right.
need. That's what you need. You need that
All right.
frequency of not to be too self-conscious that, oh, I'm doing this now. Yeah? You got to avoid that. You got to
Got
stay
it.
humble with the vibe, keep flowing, keep flowing. Then you get the real benefits. I'll give you these 3 beautiful benefits. Your mind becomes clearer,
Mm-hmm.
your vision progresses,
Mm-hmm.
and your hearing improves.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Thank
Yeah?
you. Thank you so
What's
much.
what's your star sign?
What's my star sign?
Yeah, if you don't, yeah.
Like my zodiac astrology?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, beautiful. I'm Leo.
Okay, fire. I'm a Leo rising. My rising is Leo, my ascendant. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I'm Leo. I'm Leo rising too in the West.
Awesome.
No, I'm not. No, I'm Sagittarius rising.
Okay. Okay. So you got
Wonderful.
double fire. Double fire.
Yeah, double fire. Yes. Yeah, I want to namaste for the conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I
Yes.
wish you and where you're staying all the best.
Same to you. Same to you. Keep doing it. Just keep teaching it. Keep preaching
Thanks.
it, please. Yes.
One love, Joe.
All right.
Peace, peace,
Peace.
peace. He was all right, wasn't he? It was good, wasn't he? Wonderful.